Dan, Buck, and Susanna present Little News Ears.
Hey you! Are you 4? I am, and my name's Bram, and I'm 4.
And I'm Jake, Bram's dad, but some people call me BoxerBlu. Blah! And here is the news.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
I'm kind of scared to tell you what today is.
Why, Bram?
Because it's Chinese Language Day.
Okay, Bram, what's wrong with that?
Well, some people in America, they're mad at the Chinese people.
Bram, some people might be angry. Okay, that might be. But, the people of China in the Chinese language, they have nothing to do with COVID-19.
Yes. I know. But anyway, it's Chinese Language Day, and you used to live in China, right, Dad?
Yes, I did live there. It was very, very interesting. A lovely experience. Yes, and
how much Chinese do you speak now? How much Mandarin?
Not very much. Anyway.
Okay, well, our first story is all about how money comes from the sky.
Bram, what are you talking about? Money doesn't come from the sky. That's silly. There are banks and there's a government.
Yes. But I was reading this article in the New York Times. Well, actually, I was listening to an article, I should say, in the New York Times. Right now, because of COVID-19, people are they're losing their jobs, and the government, through Donald Trump, and he's written his name on the check and everything. He's giving people money.
Yes, that's true. I'm still waiting for my check, by the way.
Yes. So anyway, this article is all about where the money comes from.
Yes, and where does it come from exactly, Bram?
Well, it kind of comes from nowhere.
What? Are you saying that the U.S. government is basically printing money?
Dad, it is sort of like that. Like, basically, one part of the government borrows from another part of the government, and then, basically the debt increases.
Debt? Can you explain what debt is, Bram?
Debt is basically how much money you owe. Like, if I borrow $5 from you, my debt is
$5.
Exactly, $5. So in this case, the debt, the U.S. government debt, we talked about it earlier this year, it's like, $1 trillion or something like that, and it increases.
Isn't this dangerous? Couldn't this cause inflation, Bram?
Inflation?
Inflation, boys and girls, is, when it comes to money, it means that the power of the money goes down. So if you're going to buy something this week and it costs $1, let's say, and the next week, let's say it costs $2, and in a month it costs $10 because the power of the dollar, in this case, goes down.
Yes, so that's what some economists are the people who study, like, money and how things happen with money.
Oh.
And so basically, they're saying that around the world, places like Japan, they've tried this, and actually it has not caused inflation to happen. So that's where the money comes from.
That's really interesting. Douche. So, Bram, I don't like to talk about such serious things, but there is something called a bubonic plague. Have you ever heard of that, Bram?
Bubonic plague? No.
So plague is sort of like an old-fashioned word for like a disease that's very contagious that gets people very, very sick.
Yes?
And so the Soviet Union...
I don't understand the Soviet Union.
Well, Bram, remember we were watching that movie Anastasia the other day?
Oh, yeah, Anastasia. That made me think about it's weird that, like, we glorify, the old Russian nobility, but not the French nobility before the revolution, even though they were kind of...
Bram, let's focus on this right here. So the Soviet Union was the government in Russia for a long time, and they dealt with the bubonic plague, essentially. And so they set up these special hospitals. And it's funny because right now, during COVID-19, these hospitals are actually helping people deal with it. So, for example, not so long ago, I think it was 5 years ago or so, there was this teenage boy who cut a marmot.
He cut a marmot?
Yes, I don't know what this guy was doing cutting a marmot, but he cut a marmot, and it's no joke. He actually got bubonic plague, and he died. And right away, they had protocols ready. Protocols? Protocols, like a list of things you do, like an algorithm. We talked about that before, right?
Yes.
And so right away, they said something like, I forget what it was like Formula 100. And so basically, right away, they shut down the town. So those types of things are actually helping with COVID-19. And so far, as we see, the rate of disease in Russia is kind of low.
Wow.
Douche.
Liberate Michigan! Liberate Minnesota! Liberate Virginia!
Bram, what are you saying?
I'm just reading tweets.
Oh, are you reading President Donald Trump's tweets?
Yes, I'm reading his tweets.
Yes, boys and girls. So a few days ago, I think it was Thursday or so, very recently, Donald Trump basically said that it's up to the governors of states to decide what people should do with, when we open. Do we open, May 15th? Do we open June 15th? Do we open beaches or whatever? And he conceded in a serious announcement that it's up to the governors, the people who are in charge of the state. But then he started tweeting, encouraging protesters. What's a protester? We talked about protesters a couple times, about the strawberry protesters in Spain a while back.
Oh, yes, I remember that story.
So anyway, there are some people that, they want to go outside. They want to walk around, and they don't want to stay inside.
I understand that. My gosh, we've been here for every day. It's like Groundhog Day, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So anyway, Trump was basically encouraging them to protest.
But isn't that kind of the opposite of what he was saying on Thursday?
I don't know, douche. Bram, do you like the game of life?
I love the game of life when you can get married and have babies.
This is a different game of life. There's a man, he's well known as being a genius in math. And I like talking about math, right? His name is Horton Conway, and he developed many theories, number theory, probability, all kinds of things like that. But he's most famous maybe for something called the game of life.
Oh, what's that? It's not the board game?
No, it's a different game of life. This is a game of life where basically it's a 0-player game. Well, you can also play with 2 players, I guess. But basically, there are black squares, there are white squares, and the black squares are people that are alive or things that are alive, and the white ones are things that are not alive. And based on a couple of rules, the game permutates. Permutates? It changes, and it kind of is interesting mathematically and for all kinds of other reasons that I can't quite explain.
Oh, that sounds really cool. It sounds like Othello or something.
Othello, like Shakespeare?
No, the game.
Oh, douche. So it was our last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, we talked about how comic books are in danger right now, right?
Yes, that's right.
And so there is a group of comic book creators. It's called Creators for Comics. There's 120 creators. Why do you keep saying creators? Are they gods? Well, I guess in a way they're gods, right? They're people who make comic books, and they're illustrators and writers and all kinds of things like that. And they are having an auction.
What's an auction again?
We talked about auction before. It's when basically people get to choose how much money they want to pay, and the highest bidder will get it.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yes, and so proceeds of these auctions go toward Book Industry Charitable Foundation. So, for example, there's something like Batman there's a vampire version of Batman.
Oh, that sounds weird.
Yes, and so that was $17,000 or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Hey, boys and girls, so we're going to get out of here. We discovered something from dying Easter eggs. It's really, really cool. If you're bored in your house and you don't want to go outside and do the wild bear hunt and all that stuff, you can, take something in your house and just hide it, and the other person can find it. It's very fun. I just started hiding toilet paper.
Bram, it was not a good idea.
I know, but it was kind of cool. Colored toilet paper.
But Bram, the toilet paper disappeared.
I know, but it was kind of fun. Thanks for listening to Little News Ears. Remember, as you get older, the news will get older too.
So bye. And it was really nice talking to all of you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Do you want this week's news? Go to littlenewsears.com.
Don't forget to check out our videos on youtube.com and our teacher lesson plans and more on littlenewsears.com. May your sweetness shine
And your colors glow. Blah!
Sources for today's broadcast include the New York Times, CNBC, The Telegraph, and CNN.